How's it going, Mets and overall baseball fans? Welcome back to the channel and spam those W's in the comments below as the Mets take game one of a three-game set against the St. Louis Cardinals, a bottom feeder, a team that had all the expectations and then some heading into the year. 15 games or so below 500, and their losing ways continued as the Mets take game one by a final score of 6-1. A huge game for the Metropolitans. They're on a two-game heater. Don't sleep on them. Obviously, I'm half joking here. The Mets really need to get on a roll. They're still multiple games below 500, but a nice, comfortable win there this Friday night. They're wearing the black jerseys this Friday night, so you know Mark Canha is absolutely feeling himself. Huge game that thankfully goes in the Mets' favor in more ways than one. And let's start off, let's not talk about the offense for a minute. Let's talk about that being in the pitching. I got to give a huge tip of the cap to Tyler McGill tonight. Yes, he was facing a lineup, that being in the Cardinals, that has its fair share of struggles so far this year, but McGill still manages to go 6 innings of 1 earned run ball, 0 walks, 4 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts. ERA is below 5 on the year. Again, for a guy that was supposed to be like your 8th starter heading into the season, you absolutely love to get that from McGill. So huge eye from him. Hopefully we see that control and that command continuing to be strong in the next starts going forward. Again, there was some uncertainty if McGill was even going to be pitching this game or if the Mets were going to push him and maybe do a bullpen start. They went with McGill. They opted for him, and that was the right move. So shout out to Tyler, big drip. Shout out to Julie, again, great member on the channel. His mama, again, appreciate the entire McGill family. But now let's get on to the offense, because that's where it was. It was early, and thankfully it was often. It started with Brett the effing Met with a 2-run double to lead off the ball game. You love to see that, folks. Before you even know it, the Mets are in a 2-0 comfortable lead. Then from there, you get a huge hit that we see from Tommy Pham to increase the Mets' lead. And again, the Mets just stayed on a roll. They continued with this heater that they had going on. Later on in the game, you saw Tommy Pham drive in another run, which was huge. Again, Jeff McHitz, who I had the pleasure of meeting in the Drive for Good charity event at Topgolf in Holtzville yesterday. Great guy. Again, what a beauty he is. He had himself 2 hits today and 2 runs scored. Starling Marte, star-stud Starling Marte, as a matter of fact, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Everyone and their mother felt like they were hitting the line today. But you know what's that? Most of all, Francisco Alvarez wasn't starting. Omar Narvaez got the start. And then you saw Mark Vientos not starting, which we were a little frustrated about after, again, he had a solid game the last time out there. However, Daniel Vogelbach finally getting the start at DH again, trying to prove himself. And as I always say, as highly critical as I've been about Vogelbach, I just want to see the guys thrive if they're going to be alive. And Vogelbach did that by ripping and no doubt bombed the top deck to right. That increased the Mets' lead, and ultimately that is how they get to their 6-1 victory. Huge monkey off the back for Vogelbach. Hopefully we see more production out of him in the days and weeks going forward, whether the Mets keep him on the roster, whether they trade him as bait, whatever the future Daniel Vogelbach is going to be, the Mets needed this type of production. They need a breakout. No better time to do it than against a lesser club in the Cardinals right now. They're so out of sorts, so in a flux. If you think things have been going bad for the Mets, then you haven't been watching the St. Louis Cardinals. It has been that much worse. So hopefully the Mets can take the series dub tomorrow. And before we get there, also a big shout out to Dominic Leone. Again, 8 of his last 9 innings that he has pitched now for the Mets have been scoreless. That's huge. Josh Walker getting himself 2 innings there in relief to end the game. Again, an arm that's not supposed to be in this bullpen, but is being productive. You love to see that. So again, the Mets look for the series dub tomorrow, 4-10 games. So I'm likely going to be streaming. Again, been out of town all week, but happy to be streaming for you guys tomorrow, more than likely, with Kodai Senga on the bump, hoping for another masterful start at Citi Field that he tends to do so well. So make sure you guys are chimed in. And again, make sure to let me know your raw reactions in the comments down below as the Mets take game one of this 3-game set to the Cardinals by a final score of 6-1. Again, key moments for me, it's Tommy Pham. I got to give, as great as Brett the Met was, as Vogelbach getting the monkey off his back was great, nothing is better than Tommy Pham, because he's quite literally one of the best sluggers in all baseball right now over the past 2.5, 3+ weeks. Seriously, he has been that good. If you're not named Shohei Ohtani, you haven't been slugging much better than Tommy Pham. That is how good he's been. As someone who, similar to Vogelbach, I've been highly critical of earlier in the year. And again, and I know I was wrong for this, but critical of him in spring training, which again was premature and wrong for me on my part, and I apologize for that. Pham has really impressed me. He's utilizing this limited role. Every type of ball he hits is hard contact. You love to see it. And again, he's driving in runs. He's being consistently productive, not only against lefties, but against righties too. And you love to beat up on Miles Michaelis, a guy that I still can't get over, him having the audacity to say last year when the Mets faced the Cardinals and Chris Bassett was giving the Cardinals the benefit of the doubt for hitting the Mets multiple times when Alonso got hit and everyone, their mother, say, these balls are so unpredictable. They're so uncomfortable. It makes sense why they're slipping on the hands of pitchers. Then Michaelis, instead of basically agreeing agreeing that, the Cardinals aren't trying to hit the Mets. He said, no, we have full control in our pitches and the baseball. So you're saying you're intentionally hitting the Mets. Gotcha, Miles. That's great. So happy to put up a 6 earned on you tonight, bud. But again, that's good, dude, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let's effing go Mets, baby, and let's get that series dub tomorrow. Let's go.